we're stepping back in time to the golden era of American muscle cars, and we're going to explore one of the most legendary Chevrolets ever created, the rare 1969 Camaro ZL1. This isn't just any Camaro. This is the ultimate expression of Chevy's performance ambitions in the late 60s. A car built for the track, but legal enough to drive on the street. With only 69 units ever produced, the 1969 Camaro ZL1 is a collector's dream. A muscle car unicorn and a machine with a price tag today that will blow your mind. To understand the Camaro ZL1, you have to understand the atmosphere of 1969. Muscle cars were at their peak, and manufacturers were locked in a horsepower war. Chevrolet had the Camaro competing against the Ford Mustang, Dodge Charger, and Plymouth Barracuda. But the company wanted something special for the drag strip, something that could dominate NHRA superstock racing. That's where the ZL1 came in. The magic of the ZL1 starts under the hood. Instead of the regular small block, or even the big block 396, Chevrolet dropped in an all-aluminum 427 cubic inch V8 engine developed for Can-Am racing. This wasn't just a bored-out big block. It was a lightweight, high-revving monster that made the ZL1 incredibly quick. Officially, Chevy rated it at 430 horsepower, but everyone who's ever driven or tested one knows the real output was closer to 500 horsepower. That's insane for a street car in 1969, and even by today's standards, those numbers are impressive. The use of aluminum for the block shaved off around 100 pounds compared to the cast iron equivalent, giving the ZL1 a surprising weight advantage for a big block muscle car. Combined with a close ratio 4-speed manual transmission, heavy-duty suspension, and 12-bolt rear axle, this Camaro was ready to rip down the quarter mile. Most owners back then weren't cruising to the grocery store. They were taking these straight to the drag strip. Visually, the 1969 Camaro ZL1 looked a lot like the regular Camaro Copo models. It didn't have flashy decals or wild body kits. In fact, most people walking past one wouldn't have guessed it was packing a racing engine under the hood. That sleeper look is part of what makes the ZL1 so special. You could pull up next to a regular-looking Camaro at a stoplight, and by the time you blinked, the ZL1 would be gone. Inside, the car was pure business. No fancy luxury touches, just a functional, driver-focused layout with bucket seats, a simple dash, and performance gauges. This was a purpose-built car, and the lack of unnecessary features kept the weight down even further. So why only 69 units? It comes down to cost and purpose. The ZL1 package added nearly $4,200 to the price of a base Camaro in 1969, pushing the total cost to around $7,200 at the time, a fortune for a muscle car. Most people could buy a Corvette for less money. Because of this, Chevrolet ended up with a car that was too expensive for the average buyer, but perfect for drag racers who wanted the ultimate weapon. The Copo program allowed certain dealers to special order these cars. And that's exactly how the ZL1 was born. Performance numbers were staggering for the era. A properly tuned ZL1 could run the quarter mile in the low 12-second range, right out of the box, and with drag slicks and minor modifications, it could dip into the 11s. Top speed wasn't the focus, but the acceleration was brutal, pinning drivers to their seats in a way few street cars could match. Fast forward to today. In the 1969 Camaro ZL1 has become one of the most sought-after American muscle cars in history because of its rarity, racing pedigree, and insane performance. Prices have skyrocketed in the collector market. Back in the early 2000s, you could find one for around $250,000 if you were lucky. Now, in 2025, a pristine, numbers-matching example can sell for well over $1 million at auction. In fact, some of the most historically significant ZL1 South have crossed a block for prices pushing $1.2 million. There's no sign of that value slowing down. Even project cars needing a full restoration can command hundreds of thousands of dollars simply because they are so rare. Owning a ZL1 today isn't just about driving it. It's about preserving a piece of American automotive history. Most owners keep them stored in climate-controlled garages, only bringing them out for special shows or historic drag racing events. And when you hear that all-aluminum 427 roar to life, you instantly understand why this car has such a legendary reputation. The sound is raw, mechanical, and unlike anything modern cars produce. It's a pure muscle car symphony. The ZL1 also represents the last of a certain era, for stricter emissions regulations and fuel crises changed the landscape of performance. Cars in the 1970s. It was a time when engineers could push the limits, when the horsepower wars were still raging, and when performance mattered more than fuel economy. That's part of the magic and the nostalgia that surrounds this car. If you ever get a chance to see one in person, pay attention to the little details. It's the subtle badging, the way the hood bulges slightly to clear the massive intake, the wide stance on period-correct tires. Every part of the ZL1 tells a story. And for the few who have had the privilege to drive one, it's an unforgettable experience. The acceleration is immediate, the steering feels direct, and the car communicates every bit of what's happening on the road. It's raw, it's intense, and it's exactly what a muscle car should be. So, whether you're a collector, a drag racing enthusiast, or just a fan of automotive history, the 1969 Camaro ZL1 stands as a legend that will never fade. Only 69 ever made. Each one is a treasure, and their value, both financially and historically, will only grow with time. It's more than a car. It's a symbol of an era when performance had no limits. That's all for today's Deep Dive into the rare 1969 Camaro ZL1. If you enjoyed this, look back at one of the greatest muscle cars ever built. Make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment telling us your favorite classic car, and subscribe to GearHead Galaxy for more stories from the past, present, and future of automotive legends. Until next time, keep the passion alive and keep those engines roaring.